Hello everyone, I'm Renown Zero, and I always find it very hilarious when you have certain individuals out there who are always boasting about how their comics are the greatest thing on planet Earth. Like, I don't know, certain individuals who make garbage frog characters who literally are never the hero, they never accomplish anything in their books, and they're basically a cuck for the female character, being the stepdad of said character's, you know, daughter. But I also find it very interesting when new changes to Indiegogo pop up and they sit there and they have to cope themselves into a corner because they realize that all the garbage and bloat that's being being put into their campaigns is now suddenly being brought to light, and you never miss a beat. Certain individuals never miss a beat having to cope themselves into a corner. But we'll get into it in just a moment. Right here, we started with you have Alpha Core number 2 coming in at 2,033 books, 81,376 total sold. And for the people that are going to be in my comments, I'm sure being like, oh, it's a flop, it's a flop. Yeah, because you're a tourist and everything in comics always goes down from 1 to 2 as sales start to stabilize when it comes to literally any book in comics. That's typically how it goes. And this is the indie space, this isn't mainstream. So, you also had the Ripazine collection, which had 2 different covers. Let me just get into what the sales numbers look like. You have 621 of these sold, 16,164 total sales. Of course, this is a collection. This is an easier way to get into reading these short stories being put out by multiple people like Andrew and Carol Brown. Even a story with Zachary Levi, which is cool to see. You also have the Alpha Core number 2 collection. Let me just pull that up really quick here. Actually, I already pulled that up. I meant to pull up Bloodruth. There we go. Bloodruth, 14 days to go at 138,093 in total sales, 3,989 total books sold. And of course, you have the action figures as well. Not a big action figure guy myself, but for people that want to get the action figure line, you can still get in on that for the next 35 days. 550 figures sold, 38,967 total sales for a single figure. Once again, the holes were poked into certain narratives that were claiming that adjectives needed to be put in front of ISOM, even though there were, the thing that came out, the ultimate, whatever collection was for Yaira, then they tried to say it was also for ISOM, the definitive. That's what it's called, the definitive Yaira. And they're like, oh, that's the definitive ISOM. They have to put an adjective in front of ISOM, even though it's the same adjective they put in front of Yaira as well. But moving on over to what we really want to talk about today. Van Sciver beginning his cope. That's right, the Throat Goat Frog Daddy himself beginning his cope and coping himself into a corner as they continue to reveal the real numbers, not the bloated numbers that he's consistently put out from Indiegogo. The changes to Indiegogo's displayed metrics revealed the inflation of Comicsgate's backer pool. A substantial number of backers were making multiple orders, and each order was counted as a backer. Here's a clear example with a campaign that is still open, Pit, by Mandy Summers. Originally it displayed 805 backers. After the update to Indiegogo's user experience, it now displays 677 backers. When the campaign flips over to continuous mode tonight, then the additional information will be displayed. Comicsgate is a relatively small bounded set of YouTube addicts driven by a parasocial dynamic. Van Sciver himself is a bit dim in his attempts to distort the numbers for his own dimmer audience, or are moderately entertaining. Van Sciver uses a distorted and inflated depiction of the size of Comicsgate's influence to keep his lackeys in line and to attempt to bully critics and descendants into silence. By the way, the only person that was available, or you could actually meet, at New York Comic Con this past weekend was one Billy Tucci. He was also there last year, by the way, which is when I met him and I bought a Captain America poster by him. It was absolutely great. The reality is it's just a dirty fishbowl with a few sad fish feverishly swimming in small circles. Basically exposing that it's the same people that buy the same crap over and over again. No new people. It's just people making multiple orders on the same campaigns and they're getting counted twice. Ethan deflects to a massive L. Rini's IP, Fiendish. You should go back it. It's a great book. Fantastic art. Has more backers than Pitt. Pitt was a all-hands-on-deck comic for CG and has a legacy. Fiendish 3 has 757 backers, including the 106 from Kickstarter, which is probably higher now. Pitt has 666 backers. It could be higher now. No one really knows yet. I don't really care, to be honest. But it's funny that you have people that A-log this clown, and it's absolutely hilarious watching this guy cope and seethe and mauled into a corner over the fact that someone like Rini is destroying these clowns in backer numbers. EVS is Cope spiraling. Don't worry, he's literally describing himself talking about Ripperverse. He can't see the hypocrisy. He goes on to say, the reality of Edwin, Smiller, Perdomo, and Dongbox, etc. is that they secretly regret leaving the comics gay community. He eats at them on a daily basis. None of these people actually care, bro. Nobody talks about you. Everybody talks about their own product. You're the only person going around talking about other people. I'm just reporting on your retardedness and your absolute cope, seethe, and mauled session that you're having right now. Did they make a mistake? No. They'd have to kiss the ring just like John Malin and Shane Davis are doing right now, literally every day, as they continue to see their backer numbers and sales just completely deplete. They comfort themselves telling each other that CG is such a small group, because they are, and it's insignificant, they aren't missing anything. It's just 4,800 customers, guys, not 8,000, don't worry. Yes, as you continue to see your fan base get smaller and smaller because you continue to deliver absolutely nothing. As you sit there and cry about Eric July on a consistent basis about how he's doing everything wrong and he's doing all the wrong things and making all these mistakes allegedly, and you're not delivering anything. Well, he delivers multiple books a year to people who enjoy them and actually read them, unlike the people that buy your slop and don't even know that Heather Swain has a Cyberfrog tattoo on her back. And just proving further that the simps who lick your boot every day are absolute tourists, like Katie did and Dan Lawless and Mint Salad. They consistently lick your boot, kiss the ring, and they don't know shit about comics. So, every single day you're constantly coping about somebody else. 55% of Ethan Van Sciver's backers are parasocial sad sacks like J Bomber fan and Tom Tuttle, who back more than once. The same Tom Tuttle that allowed one Eat the Van Sciver throat goat to smoke crack and lick urinals. 55%. This is a significant drop from Wreck Planet, where only 30% of the backers went back for seconds. Or went back for seconds, it should say. This means a couple of things. One, that Comics Gay is now far smaller than any of us thought. And two, it will most likely be EVS who fails and not Eric July. I don't think EVS will necessarily fail. I just think it won't be long until he needs to put the fries in the bag. I'm just saying. So we have here, it says 1,742 backers for the Frog Meets World, but it actually is 1,129 backers is the real number. This is just repeat people that the Indiegogo counts, is what basically people are saying. You have the same thing for Wreck Planet, 8,369 total backers, but it says 11,929 is the actual number, when in reality it's 8,369 backers. Here's Rainbow the figure, or Rainbow the Fruit figure, for a book that's not been released yet. It's actually 901, even though it says 1,643. So, at the end of the day, we want to talk about flops and downfalls and declines. Here it is. The declines and downfalls and nonsense that happens with the Frog Daddy himself, who doesn't want to admit that no one gives a shit about his product. No one really gives a shit. And you're not delivering a product, so what product can anybody talk about? Oh, that's right. They have to sit there and constantly talk about the Ripperverse or Tyler Carpenter or anybody else in the indie space who actually delivers product. Also Doug Ernst. They have to constantly talk shit about literally anyone delivering product to anybody else, like their customers. And because people like Frog Daddy Throat Goat over here isn't delivering product, he's just delivering an idea, that when you don't have comics to talk about, you talk about other stuff. And that's why he sits there and copes and seeds and malts for 4 to 5 to 6 to 7 hours a day about Eric July, because he's the rookie in indie comics that's absolutely destroying him in every single aspect of the indie space. I could see Heroic Tales 3 coming out before Cyberfrog 3, which will be the Patriarch #1. So, Thank you all for checking out this video. I really do appreciate all the new subscribers, returning subscribers, new viewers, and returning viewers. If you do like this video, smash the like button. Comment below if you feel about this. Subscribe for more content. Hit the bell for notifications. Set the bell to all. That way you'll get a notification anytime I post a new video or go live on the channel. See you guys in the next one. Peace.